And welcome back to Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. Dan Coons, your host. Jessica Johnson's been on this show many, many times before. She, of course, is the executive director of SAGE, but she brought Hank with her again this time. Hank is making his second appearance on the show, which is why you don't see a table, but you see a dog. Hiya, Hanker. How you doing, big guy? Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
We got a lot to talk about. We're, of course, going to be talking about Make a Difference Day and various other SAGE-related things. But give me a Hank update, because he wasn't here last time. In fact, he had to bring Hank's trading card last time because Hank couldn't make the trip. How's the big guy doing?
He's doing really well. We've actually, he's done his first case in court where he has been in the witness box when the victim testified, so that was really good. The good news about that is that the prosecutor got a conviction on all the counts, so, and he did really well. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing right now, is just laying there and just hanging out, and he should not be noticeable when he's in court, and that's kind of what happened. So,
and that was a watershed, because that was really the key, is to convince the judges that for this particular kind of testimony, this child who has to talk about some very difficult and painful things needs to have a facilitator dog with them to make them feel comfortable and be able to open up and talk.
Right, and so what we really like to have happen is actually have the dog introduced to them pretty quickly. I mean, as soon after their disclosure as possible. So like Hank could go through the interview with her and then do some advocacy with her, and then the defense interviews, and then when it comes time for trial, you know, we have the case that says Hank is here, and Hank has been a part of this, and it helps this person feel more comfortable. She or he might lean on Hank a little bit more for that, and so we were very excited when the judge allowed that to happen. And each time that Hank is needed in court, of course, the prosecutor will have to go before the judge and ask for this and jump through all the right hoops, but because Judge Allen is the most senior judge on the bench, we think that looks good, because she likes it, and we don't think anybody else will go against it, but you never know. So Hank did that. Hank was really good, and the victim did an excellent job, and
you got a conviction.
And we got a conviction. So that's what you look for. I mean, that's why Hank is here. And
Hank has his blue vest on, and that means Hank is working. Explain the difference. How does Hank know that he's working and not working, the significance of the blue vest?
And the vest just tells him that he's actually on duty, that he needs to be making sure that he's following my commands. I mean, he should do that anyway, but you know, when we get home and take off his vest, then he can really be a dog, a puppy really, and run circles in the yard, play tug with our other dog and things like that. But when the vest is on, it's kind of his signal to know that he is supposed to be working and he is supposed to be ready to go. And even when his vest is off, when we're in the office, because sometimes we take it off just so that he can have some downtime, we know that Hank picks up on people's emotions. So Hank will go, if somebody's having a really bad day and we're having staff meeting, and Hank doesn't have his vest on for staff meeting usually, he'll go and he'll sit by that person. And you'll notice that that person will just start to pet the top of his head, and they won't even really know that they're doing it. It's just something that I'm aware of, and he's very good about that, and he just kind of goes around to all the staff and says hi and checks in and things like that. So and the same at some of our other meetings that we go to, so like the multidisciplinary team that we have for our Child Advocacy Center, which is where we meet with the prosecutors and law enforcement and things like that, and talk about the child abuse cases that are going on. Hank, you know, he seems to know when whoever's having a bad day. We meet once a month. He goes over, says hi to everybody, but then he goes over and he sits by the person that he feels like needs the most. It's not always me. So like this morning, it was that we came from that meeting, and he was like, no, I think I want to stay here. And I'm like, no, you have to come, because last time I didn't bring you, and you know.
Well, he's doing fine. He's working hard. And one more note on Hank, and we mentioned this last time Jessica was here, but Hank couldn't make it. When you see Jessica and Hank out and about, you got to resist the temptation just to pet the dog.
Right.
You really need to ask Jessica or whoever is handling Hank on that particular day, because it's just human nature. To see a big, gentle, sweet dog, you want to pet it.
Exactly.
But that's not really the way to do it.
Right. And And most of the time, if you just ask, I'll say, yeah, go ahead, you can pet him, or Stacy, the other handler, will say the same thing. We want to make sure that Hank is known as a kind dog, that he's not like a canine unit. Not that, well, obviously he probably doesn't have the temperament for that, but we just want him to know that we have his back. Because there are sometimes that he doesn't want to go up to a person. And so if we sense that, we'll say no. But most of the time, we just say, go ahead, you can pet him. And most people are really good about asking, especially even when his vest isn't on, but especially when his vest is on, they seem to recognize that as that he's a working dog, and that's good.
One more item of business before we talk about the Monster Bash, which is the Sage part of the Make a Difference Day. The 5K run, it went well?
It went really well. Hank was there. Hank had a costume.
What was Hank dressed as?
Well, he had a cape on,
okay.
as a hero. So we kind of made that all happen. And it was a really fun thing. I think we raised just shy of $2,500. And we had somebody that day come up and an anonymous donor and say, whatever you raise today, I'll match. So that was really awesome.
Paying it forward.
And we had some kiddos there that were really excited. I should have brought photos, but I forgot. If you check out Hank's Facebook page.
Hank has a Facebook page.
Hank has a Facebook page. It's Hank the facility dog, I know. And look, he's like, yeah, I do have a Facebook page. And there are pictures of Hank, and we had first responders there, and so that was a lot of fun. And it did really well. So the hardest thing for us was to figure out how to do the start and finish line. So you learn, and we look forward to making that more of an annual event. So.
Looking forward to it. Saturday, Make a Difference Day, of course. Yes. You guys are holding the Monster Bash.
Yes, the second annual. We can actually say that.
Yeah, fill me in on that.
So Monster Bash is a community outreach that we're going to be doing in the Sage parking lot. So we're located at 710 North Chelan. That's just past the huge parking lot of the clinic. And we will be there from 10 to 4, and it's like Halloween time for people. So I've been telling people, if you don't want to mess with the craziness of the 31st, it's a school night, come on down. We're going to be doing a trick or treat. We'll have games. There'll be a bouncy house. We have pumpkins to paint. Hank will be there. He may or may not be in costume. We haven't decided yet. But people last year decorated their cars really coolly. We had a mermaid themed car. We had a Seahawks themed car. We had a graveyard. We had a crime scene. I mean, there was just lots of stuff. So we're still looking for people who might want to come and join in on this. If they would like to come and have a trunk, they can call us and we will make that happen. If there are people who would like to donate candy, that would be great too. Or volunteer time to come and help us run the games, that would be great. But mainly, we're just looking for participants, and it's free. I mean, if somebody wants to make a donation to Sage, that's fine.
It's basically about raising awareness
that's
for Sage.
Exactly right.
Hey, this is what we are, and this is what we do.
Right. And, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, so we are also having a brown bag on Thursday if people are interested, and we'll be talking about the dynamics of domestic violence and what happens. But really, the Monster Bash is meant to be fun and for us to have a chance to give back to the community. And last year we had about 200 people through. We weren't sure because it's always the first time, but it was really a fun event. So we're looking forward to doing it again.
Well, just seeing Hank is going to be worth it.
Yeah.
I can tell you that
He
much.
will have his trading cards, so he'll be giving those out.
Do you have more of these, by the way?
Yeah, they're actually in his pack. That's
okay.
Besides some other things that we carry in there, but that's one of the things we carry in there, so that he can give those out. So
it's pretty much all day Saturday at the Sage parking lot. It's a big parking lot. You can't miss it. It'll be all the people having fun.
Right.
But probably the big thing you probably need is just a couple people go to the store to go to Costco and buy a couple of big old things of candy. So when the kids trick or treat, they can get their candy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, we'll have candy, but the more candy we have, we ran out last year, and we sent people for reinforcements. So and there'll be prizes for the games and things like that, and it should be fun. So it was a lot of fun last year, and we're looking forward to it this year too.
Before I cut you loose, I know you're busy. What else is in the Sage hopper that we need to know as we get closer and closer to the holiday season?
Do
you guys get busier? People indoors?
We do get busier. The time between Christmas and
New Year's?
Well, Christmas and New Year's usually is okay. The holiday time is usually okay because people
Are on their best behavior,
are on
or
their
try
best
to be.
behavior.
Right.
They've got family visiting, things like that. We know with the cycle of violence, though, that oftentimes there is that anticipation stage or that build-up stage, and then there's something that happens that is usually the abuse that happens, whether it's emotional, physical, financial, whatever it is. And then there's that honeymoon period where people are like, yes, that'll never happen again, I'm so sorry. And then
then
the
it
cycle
happens
starts
again.
again. So what we've seen is that usually that people, and this is really bad, but victims are anticipating that the holidays are coming, so sometimes they might push along the anticipation stage. I'm not saying that it's ever their fault, but we've seen that happen, so that the explosion happens before the holidays, and so that they can enjoy the holidays in the honeymoon period. But what we want people to know is that we're here for victims of all crimes, and that if you have a problem, you should just give us a call. We won't ever tell people when it's time to leave. That's their job. That's not our job. We have Hank available. We have other people available so that we can make sure that they really get the help that they need. And then, we also are going to be doing Christmas families, so we'll be looking for people who want to give back to the community again and maybe adopt a family who doesn't have the means to have Christmas or their holidays happen this year. And then also we're starting to ramp up for Enchanted Evening. So we're going to try.
Some enchanted evening,
That's right.
you will meet a stranger. Wow, that was terrible.
The theme this year is hiding behind the mask. So. And I think that we're going to try something a little bit different with the tickets. So be looking for like a Black Friday type sale-ish.
Well, we'll have you on again. To talk about that.
Yeah. So that's all stuff that's coming up. So, and again, we are always looking for board members and volunteers. And so if people want to come down and check us out, I'd be happy to give you a tour. Hank would be happy to give you a tour. We love to have the community come in and see what's happening.
The crisis line is manned always. You pick up
Yes.
the telephone, you call the crisis line, somebody will answer the phone. Just call. Just that's they talk about the first step in anything.
Right.
Just call.
Right.
Be amazing what that does.
Right.
Have a good Make a Difference day.
Oh, thank you.
How you doing, Hanker?
Hank.
Yeah, he only responds to
Hank, can you help?
say bye to everybody.
Can you
right
say
up there.
bye?
Bye.
Can you say hi?
Bye.
Say hi.
Thanks, Hanker, buddy. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.